Hey guys. Um, it is 2 in the morning, at least where I am right now. And I've been thinking all day because I watch Steven Universe. And I know that Steven Universe tends to do things intentionally. And it got me thinking about if Lapis Lazuli could potentially be a fusion. And yeah, I know we've seen her gem placement. She seems to only have one gem. But that's not to say she doesn't potentially have another gem hidden somewhere. And I know this seems really, really far-fetched because she was trapped in the mirror. There was only one gem. There was only one cracked gem. Blah, 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 blah. But honestly, I know how far-fetched this sounds because I can't even think of a workaround for that. But the reason why I'm even giving any bearing to this theory is, okay, let's take Garnet. Garnet is a fusion, but we didn't know that for a while. She's about the size of any other gem. While large, there are large gems that are just single gems. And we only found out she was a fusion when we saw Ruby and Sapphire separated. And Ruby looks kind of like a little tiny Garnet with the hair and everything. Of course, not exact, but very, very similar. And that got me thinking. Aquamarine looks like a very, very tiny little chibi version of Lapis Lazuli. I mean, pretty much the same. Even the same teardrop-shaped gem, except for on Aquamarine, it's an actual teardrop, and on Lapis Lazuli, it's on her back. But Steven Universe is one to sort of do things kind of on purpose. And Garnet being able to pass as a not fusion without knowing that she is. And then again, I know this seems a little far-fetched because we've only really seen one visible gem on Lapis, and in the mirror there's only one cracked gem and blah blah. But I might, if I can think of any workarounds, I'll make a second video. Right now this is just a thrown together theory, but there are tons of gems. There's obviously the gems we've known about, and there's probably gems we've never known about. And a lot of the gem fusions are pretty literal, as they would be in real life, what two things would have to fuse to make the third thing. But that logic isn't always perfect in Steven Universe because it's, a cartoon. So if you look at Lapis Lazuli, the gem itself, it's kind of like a blue and whitish gem, often mistaken, like sodalite is often mistaken for it. Kinda, it's like this, blue and whitish, gem sort of thing, but it's it's flecked with pyrite. And I know aquamarine is like a clear stone, like, transparent. You can see through it like you can with like a diamond or a quartz or something. But like I said, gem fusion isn't always completely accurate. So what if there's a gem we haven't met before? Pyrite. I'm just saying, like, what if someday we meet a pyrite? Could it be hard to assume that this pyrite that we don't have yet or may never have could have fused with an aquamarine that we already know looks a lot like lapis and created fused with an aquamarine and created lapis? Like, that seems like a possibility. And I may totally just be talking out of my ass here. I don't know. Theories are theories, and I've heard much worse theories than this. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, it may seem far-fetched given that we've only seen one gem anywhere on lapis, and there was only one gem on the mirror, and whatever, but we still don't really know much about lapis, and sometimes she seems a little two-toned. Like, they're both very melancholy tones, but they don't really seem like a joint personality. I mean, she has a very, like, somber side, that's just sort of somber. But then she has, like, an angry side that, like, blows up. And, what do we know about Aquamarine? She's kind of a little bit of a sociopath. So it's like Aquamarine can present herself and just be like cute and subtle, but like you talk to her and she's kind of a psycho. Like, Lapis seems pretty passive, and she's not necessarily very talkative or anything like that. But when she's upset about something, she takes it to the max, and she has like big reactions, like pew, and does really crazy things. And I know that that Aquamarine had that little wandy thing and didn't really seem to have any powers. But as we know, there's like separate generations of Aquamarine. Or no, there's separate generations of all the gems. So, like we know about the newer generations of gems, they no longer have magic. They have little tools. But the older gems, they have magic, and they can summon their weapons and blah 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 blah. So there's to say that when Lapis was created, if she is a fusion, her Aquamarine, which I'm assuming she would be, that would be the gem that would be part of her fusion, would have still had some sort of powers, and would have probably been those powers to control water. Because if you think about it, if you look at Aquamarine's wand, she can control things with that wand. She can, like, pick up things and she can move them and drag things around. And, like, Lapis can do kind of the same thing, except with water. She can manipulate water and use it as a tool. Like when she moved the barn, she manipulated the water to lift the barn. But say the new Aquamarines don't have that skill, so they're given these wands that they can move and lift things with to, like, fling them around at their will, like Lapis is able to do with water. It seems a little far-fetched, but I don't think that it is the worst theory. Just in my opinion. And yeah, it's my theory. Of course, I'm not gonna think it's the worst theory, but whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's that far-fetched. I mean, fuck. Like, there's theories that like, pink diamond is, like, bubbled in the, like, bubble room in the temple and all that bullshit. There's, like, theories that, like, rose quartz is pink diamond. There's, like, theories that I just can't even. But I haven't heard a single theory that Lapis could potentially be a fusion. Even, I mean, looking at Aquamarine, that's, like, the first fucking thought I get in my head. Like, if Ruby looks like a little garnet and Aquamarine looks like a little Lapis, then who's to think that Aquamarine couldn't potentially be, like, a fusion? But, like, you know, that theory, because, like I said, I'm sorry, it's like 2 in the morning, I'm tired, I'm stumbling over my words, but, like, you know, I know it's far-fetched because, like, we've only ever seen one gem having anything to do with Lapis, and I can't really find a workaround for that, but, I don't know. Maybe I can think of something. I'll think of something. I have to think of something. Whatever. But I'll save that for another video. This was far-fetched, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. If any of you actually watch, thank you, and see ya. Bye.